Yes. So here for exercise 3, we're going to take a look at redesigning a facade. We were given a model where it had a panel facade cladding, and we're going to look at two things. One is changing the thickness of the component, and two, changing the color of the panel. So to start off with, we had to download an extra package, and also add-on called Clockwork, and then also Facade Panel Sort. Um, so from there, you start with the family type node, and um, again, when we downloaded the add-on for the Facade Panel Sort, it gave us a family for facade panel. So once you plug that in, then just like the previous exercise, you want to find all elements in the project of that specific type. So this notes all elements of family type, and then it's going to pull all the curtain panel uh, family objects that we need. So to start with, we're going to move up here to the thickness of the components. So um, just like the last video, whenever we want to set information into Revit, we use this set parameter by name box here. So you're going to start with one of those, and then you're going to plug the element into the elements of that specific family type so that you have that information. And then from there, we're going to set the parameter that we would like to change. So then again, you take a string or a code block and you put in the parameter that you're looking for. And in this instance, we're looking for the thickness. It's important to note that whenever you're using strings, you don't have to use these parentheses. Um, and I believe also you don't need to use a semicolon. But for a code block, you do, unless it's a number, but you still need the semicolon. Um, so from there, we need to take a look at the value. We're going to skip over here to the code block. So we have three things we need to pull or like to change the thickness to. So these you put in brackets, and then also with um, the semicolon. Um, so then the next thing is the focus was to have a random pattern of the different thicknesses to give some aesthetic. So with the list cycle, basically it takes the numbers that you plugged in and it puts them in a certain cycle. And then from there, you're going to plug that into a shuffle, which completely randomizes the the thicknesses that we had chosen. So now we're going to move on to the color panel type. Um, Also, one thing I forgot to mention is you also will need this list count. So the list count will be plugged into all elements of this type, and then once you start the list cycle, it's going to pull that information of how many panels you have. So then it knows how many of these thicknesses that it needs to um, interchange. So moving on to the color, we have this set parameter by name box again, and it's going to be the same or almost the same sequence as the thickness. So for our element, again, it'll be plugged into our all elements of family type. And then parameter name, now we're looking to change the color. So um, we enter that into a string, or again, you could use a code block. And as you can see here, you don't use a semicolon. So um, yeah. So for the value, we use the code block still with the brackets because we're listing things that we wanted to interchange between. Um, and that's gray light. Before there was gray medium, but a part of the exercise was to change one of the panels to red so we could actually see it. Um, and then this helps Revit look for the material um, by name. So whenever you have your material library, basically this is going to search through all the materials you have in your Revit and pick out the one that you named specifically. And again, it's very important that you write it just as it is. So capital letters where capital letters are, and then spaces where spaces are. So again, we're going to go through the list cycle and list shuffle, and then plug that into the value. So then, whenever we run it in Revit, before all of these were gray, but then now you have your red panels set in as well. So I'm just gonna undo so you can just see the difference of after it's ran and before it's ran. So that's all for this video. Thank you.